And sometimes with the separation of powers, there's also a tendency for people to filter it through their partisan lens or their ideological lens. If it's a president that somebody likes, they might be a little bit more lenient on their interpretation of separation of powers. Whereas if it's a president they don't like, they might suddenly care a lot more about the separation of powers. And it's unfortunate. I think there is a lot of, and this is more of an opinion I'm talking about now. One of the relatively rare instances where I talk about my opinion, but I think there is a serious issue with people's concept of separation of powers also being too predicated on whether they actually like the president or whether they like the majority of the Supreme Court or whether they party in Congress that is a majority in one or both chambers in Congress, whether somebody likes that majority party or strongly dislikes the majority on the Supreme Court or the majority control of Congress. It's something that the separation of powers, all these questions about whether checks and balances are being upheld is one thing, but are we also letting our personal opinions about these individuals also cloud what we think about whether they are overstepping their boundaries? If we said it wasn't Donald Trump that was doing all these specific actions and it was Joe Biden, or vice versa, whenever Joe Biden implemented executive orders and instead it was Donald Trump, do our opinions change? And for some people, those opinions do shift a little bit. Maybe they don't realize it, but sometimes we let our opinions on these specific individuals dictate what we think about whether the separation of powers is being infringed upon.